Alright, so yo, what is up YouTube? It is your boy, Itsmichaelowl here, and today guys, recently KingsIsle has been talking a lot about PvP. They've done round tables with Blake PvP, they've been talking to me, Jay, Nick, all of my friends, everything insides and outs, but we never know what they're really gonna do, right? So recently they've been hinting at spells that they're gonna be changing, nerfing, etc, etc, and not just these spells, but the shadow pips in general. There's gonna be like a shadow gauge, quote unquote. They're gonna be changing resist, maybe, I don't know. I might make separate videos on the resisting, because I mean that's just, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I don't know. A lot of things are gonna be changing for better or for worse, and I just want it to be on the better side because I mean Wiz already kind of sucks, and I don't want it to get even suckier, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, let's try to make it as good as we can. I'm just gonna give them an idea on what spells need to be changed, what they should be changed to, and if a spell even needs to be changed at all, or if it's just fine where it's at. So if you guys do enjoy this video and you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure to tap like, drop sub, I really appreciate that. If we can get at least 100 likes in this video, I might make another one on my thoughts on the whole resist change. If you guys want to see that, just let me know in the comment section down below, or whatever other videos you want me to make. I know that some people want to see my gear and deck setups for a lot of my PvP schools. I'm gonna do those probably soon, but I mean, just want to get this one out first because I mean, I feel like this is more of a big deal than just a gear and deck setup, because I mean, if the meta changes, the gear and deck setup for last month could be way different from the gear and deck setup for next month, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is more important, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. So I'm on my storm right now, so I mean, we might as well talk about the storm shadow spells that they could be changing. The one they've been mentioning is Glowbug Squall and spells like it. Glowbug Squall hits for 1100 damage and it removes all the blades on your opponent. Every single last blade. So they're thinking about changing it to, I think maybe decrease the damage and also make it just take away 3 blades. And I mean, I don't know how I would feel about this. I mean, like, this isn't the spell that I was really most, like, this wasn't the one on the top of my list, but I mean, for the devs, I mean, they mentioned this one first. I mean, I don't know if it's that much of a priority to them, but I mean, I feel like spells like A-Bomb, maybe Ifrit, deserve much more attention. But I mean, yo, I feel like changing it to take away 3 blades is kind of weird. I mean, like, Storm has a lot of spells that does that exact same mechanic. Spells like Leviathan hits for 1000 damage and it takes away 2 blades. Spells like Sirens hits everybody for 800 and then it takes away 2 blades and it gives a 50 mantle. Spells like Catch the Day. Storm has a lot of those blade removal spells. So I mean, like, for them to make Glowbug just take away 3 blades instead of the ones that already take away 2 blades, I mean, like, yes and no at the same time. Because I mean, an easy counter to that is to literally just use as many sharpened regular blades as you can, right? And then just put on an elemental blade on top of it, and then it takes away only 1 of your blades instead of taking away all these other blades that you put on as well. But also, if people want to protect their blades, they can just use Aegis or Indemnity, and then their blades are going to be staying on regardless. So I mean, you know, I feel like that one is kind of weird. If they want to change it, like, if they feel like taking away everything is just too much, maybe make it not 3 blades but 4 blades, take away 4 blades. And if you want to reduce the damage accordingly, you could, but I mean, it is a storm spell, so I mean, storms have to have pretty hard hitting spells because I mean, storm only has 6,000 or 5,000 health depending on what you rock. But this moves me into another school that is a pretty hot topic in the community. I recently just posted a video yesterday about Ice and about how A-Bomb is pretty busted, and a lot of people are saying that A-Bomb is the only thing that Ice has, and I'm just confused by that. I'm like, what? Do we play the same game? Literally, people got so accustomed to Ice being just so powerful and doing so much damage that they forgot what the school is actually supposed to be about. Ice is supposed to be the weakest school in the game, but it's supposed to have the highest health and the highest resist to combat that. The strategy with Ice is they're supposed to have the bubble, they're supposed to have the blades to make their spells do more damage, you know what I'm saying? Their spells aren't supposed to just do almost the same amount as a storm spell, right? Does this do more? Then Glowbug's, hold on. Right now before NERFS, Glowbug Squall does 1120. Ice has the ability to do 1150. And it gives you a minus 75 shield back. And you guys think that's not busted? Literally, if you guys have some time, give this a read, but pretty much it says Ice has a high health, high accuracy, and lower powered spells. Storm has the lowest health and the lowest accuracy and the highest powered spells. And it gives them not just a 70 shield, because this is what we call set shields, boys. A 70 shield. It gives them a 75. This is a set shield, but this is a super set shield. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, bro, at any level, Ice has been one of, if not the best school for that level. Level 30, Ice is busted. You literally just Frostbite, Winter Moon, and then you just use Arctic Zilla, and they're dead. I'm missing, I think I need to get Woolly Mammoth. I don't even have Woolly Mammoth trained because it's just dumb to have. It's just not even worth it when I can just use this spell over and over and over again. So I mean, it makes Ice feel like they have to rely on this spell, but it's not. Just like the same thing with Fire. Fire thought they needed Fire Beetle in order for them to be good at PvP, but Fire is really good without Fire Beetle and with Fire Beetle. So I mean, like, so a quick little fix that they could probably do to A-Bomb is definitely make the damage go down. I would say probably like what? I think Call of Cthulhu does like 990. No, Call of Cthulhu does 830 damage. So I mean, I definitely think that I should have probably one that does 800 to 900 damage max as like the range or whatever, and then the shield probably not a minus 75, but I would probably take a minus 55 tower shield instead of a minus 75. Anywhere in between, but they can't have both. They can't have the highest damage and the highest shield. They could have a little bit more damage, maybe like 900 damage and maybe a 50-60 shield. It just depends on how you want to work it. But I mean, I feel like 750 to 950 is where Ice's range should really be at for that spell. I don't have a max myth yet, sadly. I wish I did, but I don't. So we're just gonna talk about it. Mystic Colossus. So Mystic Colossus hits everybody and it removes their shields afterwards. Nobody's going to want to hit into shields. So what they've been talking about on Twitter, what the devs have proposed on Twitter is, would you rather see Mystic Colossus remain in the same order, damage, then ward removal, or would you rather see it remove the wards first, then hit for slightly less damage? But Myth, I think, deserves a pretty good spell, because I mean, Myth has really been on the bottom of the food chain in PvP for pretty much forever. Like, Myth has never been really that good in PvP. It takes really skilled players to do really good things on Myth. I feel like that is a welcome change. I don't see why anybody would argue it. The only reason why I see people who would argue it is they're saying that for PvE it would be weaker and harder for them to kill bosses and stuff, which I mean, I understand. And the thing is, when I've been in calls with devs, they've always said that they're against making spells different for PvP and for PvE. I feel like that would just be the easier thing to do, but I mean, they're against making spells solely for PvP and they're against making spells solely for PvE. But other than that, I feel like Mystic Colossus is actually fine. If they're gonna do that, obviously they need to change damage a little bit, make it a little bit lower, because I mean, it is taking away the shields first. So I mean, it's gonna be really hard to defend against that, besides weaknesses or Aegis shield. So I mean, they're gonna have to nerf that damage a little bit. But other than that, I feel like Mystic Colossus is one of those spells just like, you know, it's fine. It's not really used that often, and if they change it, it will be used a lot more often. So I mean, I'm down with that. But that Mystic Colossus thread brought up another question about how, since Mystic Colossus can be adjusted with how it works, is Wings of Fate adjustment on the table? Someone said, I would personally rather see a stronger hit and a weaker heal, or a stronger heal with a weaker hit, besides it being a 50-50 DOT and a HOT. And I, being a life guru myself, I completely agree with this, bro. I mean, Wings of Fate, people got on me so hard for using Wings of Fate on that Toss and Stab tournament, but I mean, bro, I literally forgot that Wings of Fate was even a shadow spell. That's how bad it is. Literally, it only does a 525 damage. I think that's the lowest of every single shadow hit, and it's not even a rank 5 shadow hit, because the rank 5 shadow hit, Hungry Caterpillar, does 900 to 1150. I think that's more than a Storm's damage too, so I mean, that's pretty crazy. But Storms does hit all, but that's still pretty crazy, bro. Anyway, but all in all, life isn't bad. It's just this spell is really, really bad. And what the dev said kind of triggered me, because I mean, like, he's right in a sense, but no, I don't like that. What he said was, Wings of Fate is currently not being adjusted. However, since the majority of other Shadow Hint spells are going down in power, it technically moves up in value since it's still relative. So what he's basically saying is that since Mystic, Glowbugs, A-Bomb, FFA, etc., they're all probably coming down, that means that technically, if that spell stays the same, it kind of moved up. And I'm just like, well, yeah, but no, like the spell is still really bad for the game. Even if I have like a couple of blades stacked with this, it's still gonna do really meat damage. I wish they would take another look at that spell, but I mean, you know, you never know what they're gonna do. Maybe they might later on. And before I move on to the next goal, for like a little side note, Guardian Spirit is still no PvP. Guardian Spirit has literally no use in PvE, because I mean, why would I ever waste 5 hits to just expect to die? You know what I'm saying? It's really, its main use is only for PvP. So what I want to say is, nerfing things doesn't mean take them out. It means change them and make it more balanced for the players that use them and for the players that get affected by them. Because if that's how they want to nerf things, they might as well just take out shadow spells altogether to begin with. And now we're on the Fire, right? Fire has gotten a couple of nerfs recently. They got in the Burning Rampage nerf, which I think should go back to normal now since turn-based is implemented in PvP, but I digress. They got the Fire Beetle nerf, which just took out Fire Beetle TC altogether, just made it completely just out, just took it out. I had like 500 of them guys, and now they're just gone like that. I don't know. Nerfing Fire Beetle doesn't mean just take it out. Either make it give only one trap like all the other beetles, or what am I gonna do with 500 Fire Beetle TC in PvE? I'll wait. So with their shadow spells, like Raging Bull and FFA, but Fire is one of those offensive schools, like just like Storm. I think it's supposed to be like the second hardest hitting school, so I mean, makes sense, right? But still, I feel like FFA probably shouldn't max out at 1300 damage, even though I'm perfectly fine with just leaving Fire how it is, because I mean, it is my favorite school, that's my bias, but I feel like that's a lot. So definitely probably take the damage down to whatever fits, maybe not no less than like 1200, but I think Raging Bull as itself right now is pretty much fine. The 4-pip spells are pretty much the same across the board, with slight variance in damage depending on what school you are, so I mean those are fine. The spell that people want Fire to be nerfed with is Ifrit, but I don't even want to talk about Ifrit right now, so I'm just not gonna do it. Death is really interesting with their spells, because I mean their spells have a different utility than all the other spells. It literally hits and heals at the same time. It's pretty much what life is supposed to be, but life kind of sucks. Trulu, I feel like is fine. I don't think it needs to be changed much at all. Same goes for Ring and Sorrow. They did change it from it being a Beguile to the minus 30 weakness. I feel like Death with their shadow spells, they're not really busted. But that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you think about Death. I mean, I was really trying to think about what they could do to nerf Death shadow spells. But if they want to take away the damage, they can. But I mean, they're not that powerful. So I mean, like, I feel like they're fine. And let's move on to the most nerf school in 2020. I don't have a max balance. I only have a level 100 balance. So, I mean, all I have is Gaze. I don't have Nested Fury, even though I feel like Nested Fury is fine. I wouldn't change much about Nested Fury. And I think the same goes with Gaze. I mean, it does 1100 when you add up those two 550s, and it gives you a 25% bubble. So I mean, like, it's good. I would leave Gaze of Fate alone. Like, balance already lost enough with Lore Master, Mana Burn, Spirit Diffuse, all that. I feel like balance is just, it's not really hanging on by a thread. You just gotta play it well, and I feel like that's how a good should be for every school. Schools shouldn't just have a clear advantage just because they're one school, you know what I'm saying? Ice right now has a clear advantage just because their Ice and their Shadow spell is really, really, really good. So I feel like if it takes a skilled player, or if you have to learn how to play the school, and you start winning matches, then I mean, it's good. Because any school can look really good depending on who's playing. You just gotta know how to play it. Sometimes it's the spell's fault, and sometimes it's just the player's fault for why they're good or for why they're bad. For the most part, and for the spells that I feel like need to be nerfed, it's mostly the spell's fault for why the school is so good, not more so the player. You can be a really bad Ice player, but as long as you have those shadow spells and A-bomb the way it is currently, you'll win every match. So I feel like Gaze, Balance, their shadow spells, and a lot of their main spells are really just becoming around to be more all rounded as a whole. So I mean, that's really good. What schools do you think is the most busted in the entire game right now? Let me know down in that comment section down below. I don't know. I say Ice. People say Fire, but bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me know. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. I really appreciate that. Make sure to also subscribe and turn on that bell notification to know whenever I post a video. I'd really appreciate that. And I think that's going to be about it, guys. Yeah. Stay there, guys.